about whether women should wear trousers or not.
Well, the wearing of trousers is culture.
Okay.
It's not Bible. It's culture.
Should every woman cover their hair in church?
If you read that scripture in Corinthians where Paul talked about covering of head, first of all these things are in the book of Corinthians, because the church in Corinth was a church of plenty problems.
Okay.
So when he says a woman should cover her head, first of all, if you read the pretext, see, in Bible teaching and Bible study, don't just pick a verse and run. A verse, once you remove it from its immediate environment, the life of a verse is within its environment. We have what we call pretext, post-text, to understand context. So when you read a verse, read the verses before and the verses after to understand what they are talking about. So first of all, he first said, the head of every man is Christ. The head of every woman is the man. The head of Christ is God. He's dealing with headship. So the head of Christ, God. The head of the man, Christ. The head of the woman, the husband. Then he now says, any woman praying without covering her head, her husband, she's living in rebellion, she's loud, she's disobedient to her husband, and she's praying, he says to her. He says a woman should not prophesy in church when she has just fought with her husband, him, because he's dealing with head, not hair. Covering of head, husband, not hair. Go and read it, you will see that's what he's talking about. And wearing of trousers is culture. When he says you shall not wear what belongs to a woman and what belongs to a man, he didn't tell us what belongs to a man and what belongs to a woman. Moreover, the people that were given that instruction were Israelites on their way to Canaan, because in Canaan there were a lot of homosexuals. So Moses told them, when you go there, don't dress like a woman and don't dress like a man, so you can be different from the homosexuals. He was not talking about dressing code. He was talking about his consecration away from the homosexuals in Canaan. But if you want to talk about wearing trousers, what did Jesus wear when he was on earth? He wore a gown and a band on his waist like a woman. Because dressing is culture. It depends on what your society accepts as the mode of dressing. In the Old Testament, the priests wore gown and tied their waist with a band like women in the Old Testament. Yeah, that's how they dressed. You know, and today there are societies you go to, a man wears a skirt and a shirt. They are like Scotland. There are places where you go to, their culture is you wear cap. Places like Puerto Rico. If I go there as a preacher, I wear my cap and preach, because my cap doesn't stop the presence of God. Okay, let's even go down to the roots. You are in the bathroom as a woman and you are bathing and you pray, God answers. You are in the bathroom as a man, you pray and God answers. So God is not bothered about what you wear, what you don't wear. The reason why we dress is so that we can make each other comfortable. We cover our nakedness. So dressing has to be with an intent to cover your nakedness. Whether you wear or you don't wear, it doesn't stop God from answering your prayer, and it doesn't make God uncomfortable, and it's not a sin whether you wear something or not. However, as a decent child of God, you dress to cover your nakedness and appear honorable so you can get respect in the society where you live.